All right. I apologize, everybody. We had a rather unpleasant technical malfunction that caused the event to be recreated. Less than stellar start, to say the least. But here we are. We are live. I'm seeing things popping up. I'm seeing everything working. Aside from if you're tuning into this, or if you can get a notice that on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, the original event that y'all signed up for, it got replaced by a new one that looks exactly like it. So I apologize. That's where we're at now, due to circumstances beyond our control. Okay, with the really big apology out of the way, let's get into the meat of this thing. So today we're going to be working on using SketchUp in a web browser to customize models for Reveal. So those of you that aren't familiar, Trimble Forensics Reveal is a purpose-built forensic diagramming and analysis software, and we have a tie-in to another program that's under the Trimble brand called SketchUp. SketchUp has been around a long time, and it is an incredibly simple to use but yet incredibly powerful modeling software. And so we have a tie-in between Trimble Forensics Reveal and Trimble SketchUp. Now we can use SketchUp and the SketchUp 3D model warehouse to ingest models into Reveal that may not come bundled with Reveal. There may be a new model of a car that, well, nobody has seen yet. However, it may already be modeled on SketchUp by our community. However, sometimes the model may not be the right color. So if we reach out to the SketchUp warehouse and we see that, hey, there's a Camaro, there's a camper, there's a something, and it's not quite the right color, what we can do is use SketchUp to recolor that model before we bring it into Reveal. And that's what we're going to be exploring this week, is taking something from the 3D warehouse that maybe isn't quite the right color. We're going to change that color, or change colors. We may change the vehicle multiple different colors, and then show you how to import that model into Reveal. So let me get you the little bit of information on the series itself. So this is the first in a 12-part series. So this is part number 1. We've got 11 more after this, talking about integrating Trimble SketchUp with Trimble Forensics Reveal, and the power of these two softwares working together under one Trimble connected ecosystem. So again, this is episode 1 of 12. There's 11 more after this. To get more information on that, on the upcoming episodes, weeks that you may find interesting, here's a QR code, a link to our blog. Now that is going to include a summary of all of the episodes, and really give you some feel about some of the things we're going to be covering. Some of the things will be in the SketchUp web version, which is free. Other things will be in SketchUp Desktop, where we have multiple paid plans that you can get on to really harness the full power of SketchUp on your desktop, and then be able to bring those things into Reveal as really neat assets, and allows you to really have really granular control over your models. So again, this QR code is a link to the blog where we outline all of our episodes. Now, I'm going to throw up a short URL here in just a moment. There we go. This URL is to the license of SketchUp that we are going to be using today. Now, you're more than welcome to follow along. However, I highly encourage you just to sit back and watch and absorb this. All of the recordings for these webinars will be available. So if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the recordings will be available. We're going to leave them up forever. And so that way you'll be able to go back and review them. And then later on, if you want to follow along with the steps that I'm doing, you're more than welcome to do that. But I just highly encourage you, kick back, grab a soda, popcorn if you can make it. If the break room microwave has been tainted by somebody else's lunch in the past, highly encourage you to just kick back, watch, and soak it all in. Okay, now that we have the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into it. So we're going to switch over. We're going to start in Reveal. So I'm going to transition over here to Trimble Forensics Reveal. And if you see me looking over, I'm actually looking at Reveal. Here I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at all of you, talking to you directly. Over here, I'm going to be looking at Trimble Forensics Reveal. So let's get into it here. It's nothing new that you can import SketchUp models from Reveal. So if we go to Draw, Models, and this will open up our new model dialog box. Now, when I click here in the SketchUp box, there's two options. There's the online model warehouse and there's file on disk. I personally prefer file on disk. File on disk requires you to download an SKP or a SketchUp model that you've previously saved from your computer. Now, there's a couple ways to go about this. One is that you can go onto the SketchUp 3D model warehouse and download an SKP. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to take a model, go into SketchUp Web, so you can run SketchUp in a web browser. We're going to customize that model, save it as an SKP, and then bring it back into Reveal to customize it. So this is where we're going to leave off in Reveal. We're going to go to the model import wizard for SketchUp. We're going to go to file on disk. Now I know I want to get an SKP, but I want to customize it. And this is where we're going here. So we're going to go over to SketchUp. So I'm going to transition over to my SketchUp window. That bit.ly link that I posted a little bit ago, that's going to take you to the SketchUp free URL. And again, this is free. Okay, we're not charging anything for this. And this gives you SketchUp in the web for free, that then you can go into and really get everything for free. And right now I've got Bryce Adams in my ear. Bryce, just right quick, would you be able to visit the LinkedIn page for the original link and be able to send a message to Dave and Chad, just letting them know that we've moved over to this one? All right. So again, we're going into SketchUp free. Okay, this is a free version of SketchUp, and you do have to sign up. So this will take you to a Trimble ID login. If we click on Start Modeling, this is going to take you to a Trimble ID login. We do require you to have a free Trimble ID. So if you don't have one, you can create one. Create a free Trimble ID, and that is going to bring you back and get you modeling in SketchUp for free. Now, where you go to get this, or where it's going to take you, is this window right here, and that's accessed by app.sketchup.com/app. And that is going to bring you to your the very first entry point into Trimble SketchUp. Now, if you have a Trimble Connect account, you can go into your Trimble Connect account and be able to pull models, push models, and things from Trimble Connect, which is really, really cool, being able to use the Trimble Connect cloud to move data back and forth. But I'm just going to use my my SketchUp web account here. And I'm gonna start a new model. Now you can see here I've already got some models that are saved in the cloud, but I'm gonna create a new one. So let's go up here into Create New. And this is going to open us up. Now what we have here is our SketchUp avatar. Can't remember the name of the SketchUp team member whose avatar this is, but this opens us up into our SketchUp canvas. Now our SketchUp canvas has an X-axis, a Y-axis, or I'm sorry, I got that backwards. An X-axis, a Y-axis, and a Z-axis. So the solid green line is Y, solid red line is positive X, and then we've got our negative values. So this is not anything different from a normal CAD space where we're getting the X, Y, and Z common Cartesian coordinate system. So in the SketchUp web browser experience, up here in the top left, we can name this. And I can save this to either my my Connect projects if I want to, or I can save it later. I'm just going to save this thing later. So our controls, middle mouse button, and you guys should see this down in the bottom left of the stream. You're able to see my my mouse, and this is going to show you what mouse buttons I'm clicking. So here I'm clicking middle click and drag to rotate this around. Shift, middle click, allows me to pan. So we have middle click and drag is orbit, shift and middle click allows me to pan. And here in a little bit, we're gonna be doing a bunch more navigation, but those are the basic controls here. On the left side is our tools palette. Now our tools palette has things such as an eraser, a line, rectangle, push, pull. There's the paint bucket, and that's what we're going to be using today. And we've got some other things such as a section plane. If you're thinking, there isn't a whole lot here, we're going to give you the infomercial. But wait, there's more. Call within the next 10 minutes and you will receive a whole ton of other icons. In addition to that, but wait, there's more. We've got these 3 dots here, and that'll prompt a flyout where you can do offsets, we can do flips, we can intersect union solid objects, we can do 3D text, we can do a rotated rectangle. I mean, there's a ton of stuff from a drafting standpoint that we can do. In addition, we have some view modes here, such as zoom, zoom extends, zoom to the window, position the camera if you want to put your camera somewhere, look around and walk, and you can edit this bar to put things where you want them to be. Which is really, really cool. I love the way that they build that so that you can customize it. Okay, over here on the right side, this is where a lot of fun happens. We have something called entity info that allows us to get information about this entity. So this is Ty. Ty has the default material. He's untagged. He can cast and receive shadows and all of that good stuff. If I hit the X here, that is going to collapse that down. We've got our outliner. This will be important later on. And we also have an instructor. SketchUp is really cool in that it will take the tool that you're currently using and give you instructions on how to use it. Really, really cool. Next one down is the 3D warehouse. This is where we're going to go in a minute. On the right side, we've got components and materials. Materials is where we're going to be spending our time today. Styles. This allows you to establish what type of visual style you're using. And you can get into different styles. If you want to color things differently, if you want to do photo modeling, we can outline things that are geared towards photo modeling, sketchy edges and straight lines. There's a ton of things to visually change how your canvas is appearing. And further on down, if you want to put in a location, such as a georeferenced location, and then set the time and date, you can have your model cast or have shadows cast on it, or for it to cast shadows appropriate for the time, date, and location that the model is being built. And really cool stuff. Scenes allow us to set up different viewpoints and then come back to them later. The display, this allows us to turn certain things on and off. Soften and smooth, we'll get into those at a later live stream. Model info and solid inspector, we'll get into those later on as well. But first thing I want to do is I want to go to the 3D model warehouse and I want to download a model. So right up here, it looks like it's our 3D or SketchUp model warehouse icon. I'm going to click on that. And it brings us to a browser. So it'll ask us, what can we help you find? Well, there's some things here. SketchUp now has ambient occlusion, which is really freaking cool. I'll show that to you guys at some point. Really cool stuff. But if you want to search for something, we can search for content. So what I want to start with, I don't know. We'll just do a Camaro. Camaro. I'll type it in, hit enter, and this is going to open up my browser. And there are a ton of user submitted models in here. Now, some are going to be a little bit more appropriate than others. However, there's a ton of stuff in here. So if you're looking for a vehicle that is a specific style or a specific make and model, you're probably going to find it in here unless it's so new that nobody has had a chance to get it. Some information here. This Camaro right here is 64,000 faces. Not too bad. It's 3.4 megabytes. From here, if I wanted to directly download this, I certainly could. I can see the materials that are in it. What I really love about the 3D model warehouse here is that, let me move this over just a touch, I can click on the model and I can view it in 3D. Now, this blew my mind the first time I saw this, is that I can see what I'm going to get before I ever get it. So I know what I'm going to download. And I can really preview here, do I need the interior of the car? If I do, I should look and see if there's an interior. And in this one, this may not be accurate. It might be, though. I'm not brushed up on my Camaro. But if we're looking for a Camaro and we want one with some interior, and this is also really cool, too, that I can get in here and I can look and see, are the seats modeled? It looks like the seats are even modeled, which is really freaking cool. I love some of the detail that are in these things. But I like this one. This one looks really good to me. So I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to click download. What that's going to do is import the model into my canvas. Now you can see here that it is flipped upside down. Now sometimes the models may be flipped, they may be scaled, they may not be quite right. So first introduction to it is we're going to rotate this. So I'm going to come over here to my rotate tool. And it'll bring up a little protractor, and I'm going to rotate this around the y-axis. Now to get that, I'm going to use my arrow keys. So you see down here it says arrow keys toggle lock rotation plane. I want to rotate this on this green axis. So I'm going to click on the origin, bring it over here, and I'll just flip that around. And now my model is right side up. Cool. All right. The next thing in this model is that it seems to have a bit of a box around it. Now, when I'm just going to take Ty here. I'm going to right click and hide him. In my model here, there seems to be a plane, and that plane is probably not going to come into Reveal real well because Reveal is going to import what you see is what you get. Quite literally is what you see is what you get. And that plane, if I'm wanting to move this model around, I don't want a plane in there. So right now, when I'm clicking and selecting this model, it's everything. If it's highlighted in blue, that means it's selected. Now, if I mash the delete key here, I'm going to delete everything. Now, don't really want that. So I'm just going to double click here and go into the model. And I can see here, I can select these 4 edges. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click, select all connected. Now that is highlighted in blue, and I'm going to hit the delete key. Voila. Beautiful. Plane's gone, or the extra geometry is gone. Absolutely love it. Okay. Next question is, how do we recolor this thing? Now we've got a couple different ways that we can recolor this. If your entire vehicle is one solid color, I'm going to show you the easy way. The real easy way to do this. Over here in our paint bucket, we have our paint bucket. Now, if I select that, that is our materials list. And what I'm going to do is press Alt. And when I press Alt, that turns into an eyedropper. And that, when I use Alt and click on my yellow surface, it will populate my surface in this pane. And this tells me it's color D01 bracket 2. Okay, that tells me the color. Now the easy way, the real easy way here is that I can just edit this material. So click on Edit Material. I can make this transparent if I want to, so anything with that color is going to be transparent. I can also change the color. This is cool. So I can go in here and I can, if I do have a hex value for my color, I can change it. But let's say this was a lime green Camaro. So I will set the slider approximately where I want it, right in there. And then I'll come up in here and click, move it. If this was kind of a mint color, I can change it here. However, this was kind of a lime green. So I'll come over here, pick something lime green-ish. I'm big on the term ish. Right? When we went through DRE training, it was never say never and always say sometimes. Sometimes this could be construed as lime green, especially for those of us that have had a few, just not enough hours of sleep, right? We're really running on 0 sleep, so this might be construed as lime green to us. Okay, I'm going to click back. And now my model has been changed. Now, some of the things in here, materials in use. This will tell me all of the materials that are being used in this model. So all of these colors are somewhere in here. Now I do see one thing that changed here. The Chevy emblem changed from when it was yellow to to now being green, and that's not exactly accurate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to double click, and when I'm clicking on this again, I'm seeing everything else highlighted. So I'm going to double click again, and what I'm doing is I'm descending down into that model. And I'm just going to keep double clicking here until I can get down in there and change this. All right, I'm going to make a small change to my the way this is working. So in the display area, I have the ability to hide certain things that I'm working on. So if I want to work on something and I want to hide the rest of the model, I'll hide the things that I'm not working on. Kind of clean this up just a little bit. And I lied. I'm going to have to go into the outliner just a little bit. There we go. And now I've descended down into this model far enough that now I'm editing the Chevy album. Or I'm sorry, the Chevy emblem. When I was talking about not very much sleep, yeah, now we got not very much sleep. Okay. Now I've selected this area by left clicking, and it's kind of giving me this crosshatch and these blue stripes. If I hit Control and click, that is going to add surfaces. Looks good. All right, I'm going to come back over here to my materials. Now, this is color D1, 2, and I don't want it to be that. So I can either use the materials in use. I can scroll down here. If that's in use, I can use that. Or we have things such as browse that allows me to browse for other things or other types of textures and things. So I'm going to click on my colors, and I want a good yellow color for this. You know what, that one looks good right there. And I'm going to click in my paint bucket. And now I've recolored that Chevy emblem to be yellow. So we changed it from green back to yellow. Now to get back out of here, now that we're clear down inside and we're editing this emblem, if I just click outside, we'll see pieces of the model now come back. And we've now descended back out of that area. So we can recolor individual things inside or on this vehicle. Now, when I talked about if we're going to be doing a little bit more work inside of this car, it looks like this car is a right-hand drive vehicle. Kind of cool. If, yeah, interesting. Okay, this Camaro is a right-hand drive. Now, if I wanted to go grab a different model that was left-hand drive, I certainly could. But for this one, we're just going to leave it as a left-hand drive. Or, I'm sorry, right-hand drive. Now, here's we're at about 30 minutes. I'm going to have time to do another one here. So, to do another one, or to save this one and take it into Reveal, I want to send this thing into Reveal. I'm going to come up here, and I am going to export. Nah, I'm not going to export it. I'm going to download this as an SKP. Remember in Reveal where it said I need an SKP? Let me jump back over there here. So we're back in Reveal. It's asking for a file on disk. Reveal is asking for an SKP. So going back to SketchUp, I want to download an SKP. And that has downloaded it as Untitled 6. Now, because I haven't changed the file name here, well, is what it is. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, let's go over to Reveal. I've downloaded this and I'm over in Reveal. Now, your computer may be set up differently. My web browser is set to save things into the Downloads folder. Nice and easy. If it's downloaded, that's where it goes. So I'm going to go to File on Disk, Next. select the Trimble SketchUp model. It's that SKP that we just downloaded. So I'm going to go to my downloads. There's my Untitled 6. Hit open and hit next. Give it a name. I'm going to call this Camaro-Lime. I like using the name of the vehicle to start. That way, if I'm looking for something to start, so it's C Camaro. If I put in Lime Camaro or Green Camaro, I'm looking for a Camaro, but I'd be looking in the G area, and that doesn't make any sense to me. So I always like putting the model name and then putting a dash in whatever color it is or subtype that it is. So I'm going to click next. And Reveal is going to parse out this SketchUp model, and we're going to have it here momentarily. Now, depending on the number of polygons, remember when we were looking for models to download, and this one had about 60-some thousand polygons. If you're stepping up into the 200,000-300,000 polygons, you would think that, well, yeah, this is fantastic. I'm getting this model with all this intricate detail. More is not always better. It really isn't, especially when we're talking processing time to pull these things up and get them parsed out. And even this one with my computer. So right now my computer is having to encode multiple video streams. I've got about a bajillion browser tabs open. There we go. Okay, now I did this on purpose. Remember when at the beginning we had Ty that was there? Well, the problem is that I left Ty, all I did was hide him. I didn't necessarily delete him. Reveal, when we download an SKP, all of that hidden geometry is there. So I'm going to hit cancel here. I'm going to go back to SketchUp. I'm going to transition. And in my display, I'm going to show hidden objects. And then what do you know? There's Ty. So I'm going to click on Ty. And I'm just going to hit the delete key. And there may be some hidden geometry here, just in looking at the model. Yeah, there's something here. So when I click on this, I'm seeing something here. There's something out here that's keeping this model from resizing down. So I'm going to drag, and I want to select everything here. And I'm going to hit delete. Oh, maybe I'll just go here. There's something hidden here. So I'm going to hit the delete key. And that's going to clean my model up so that I'm only seeing that model right here. I'm going to turn off the hidden geometry. Oh, yeah, that looks great. So a nice blue box looks great. All right, I'm going to re-download this SKP. It'll say, hey, there's stuff that's unused. Yep, we'll purge it. This has now been saved as Untitled 7. Let's go back to Reveal. All right, back in Reveal. Let's import this thing. So I'm going to import a file on disk. Next, I'm going to browse for it. This one in my downloads is Untitled 7. And I usually don't worry about naming these things until I get to here. So Camaro-Lime. And we'll go through and reprocess it. So again, it's really, you're looking to clean things up because some of these models that we get from the 3D warehouse may have some extra things inside them that Reveal may not necessarily like. So it's always good to go through, clean it up, make sure the only thing that you're bringing in is just a single solid object. Now, what's really cool about this is this method. We're talking about vehicles, but really you can do really anything here. You can do houses, you can do bicycles, you can really anything that's in the 3D model warehouse, you can come in and you can recolor, or what we call changing the material. So when you change the material, again, we can, it's just what it looks like on the surface. We should be just about done. Like I said, my computer's on the struggle bus today. It's just, man, it's really having to work. Okay, Reveal is going to ask us which is the front. I'm going to say side 5. And it's going to ask us which one is the top, side 3. give us the dimensions. We're pretty close. I don't worry about this much because I use the dimension tool in Reveal to resize my models when I get them in. So I'm not too worried about the size. Okay. Reveal has said, hey, your model has been placed in the Objects Custom Library Custom category. I hit Next. And we should. Got a chat from Brittany Kelm. Brittany, yes, these are recorded. These will be permanently available, whether you're watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. All of these events will be recorded and will remain up in perpetuity, so you can always refer back to them later. I apologize. We had a technical issue earlier where we had a very major technical issue that caused us to have to recreate the event. So, Brittany, I'm glad you made it over. Okay, my model is now finished. I'm going to go into my objects. As we were instructed, library is custom. And as I scroll down here, and I've got some other vehicles in here too, like a 2021 Toyota Highlander, Alfa Romeo Stelvio. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here that I have imported from SketchUp already. And there's my Lime Camaro. And then once I grab it, place it on my canvas. And in 3D, I now have my Camaro that I just worked on in SketchUp. Cool. Okay, these models, when I click on this model, I can go to my actions and link to vehicle specs and truly resize this to the correct model. So if this is a 2022 Chevrolet Camaro, this is going to be the big boy here. So we're going to do the 6.2 liter 2-door coupe. I'm going to have it show the CG, hit apply. And this is going to resize that model down to what the manufacturer, at least the Canadian vehicle spec, says it is. And it may include the mirrors as well. Come down here, go to Edit Custom Bounding Box. And yep, sure enough, it includes the mirrors. So I'm going to increase the width scale just a touch so that we're actually using the body width and not the mirror width. Again, your mileage may vary. I highly encourage you to double check that your dimensions are accurate. I always loved actually measuring the wheelbase, measuring the width, measuring the length, so that I knew the vehicle that was involved. All right. We are set. So now we've got a CG indicator and we can animate this. If I want to damage this, I can go to my actions, edit my damage profile. My damage profile will be, I don't know, from the left side. So this thing got smoked from the left side. I'm going to hit add. And then from here, I can have this, maybe this car got T-boned. So hit something round. Maybe it slid sideways into a grain elevator or something like that. And now I've got a SketchUp model from the 3D warehouse that I have recolored. I have scaled up to manufacturer specifications, and now I can do anything with it that I want to in Reveal. Cool. Okay, let's go do another one. That was fun. We're at 41 minutes. I've got a hard stop here in about 19 minutes. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm able to see the chat from YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So please put them in the chat. Brittany said on Facebook that had trouble getting in right away. If you have questions, comments, complaints, concerns, if your suggestion is grow some hair, appreciate if you kept that one to yourself. But let's do another one, right? This is kind of fun. All right, let's transition back to SketchUp. So I'm going to delete this model, and we're going to start over. All right, I've got my canvas, so let's go grab another one. If anybody has a request on what vehicle to use, I would love to hear it. So put it in the chat if you've got a vehicle request. Awesome, Dave. Hey, thanks for coming in, Dave. Yeah, good seeing you. Look forward to seeing you next week, where I promise we won't have that technical malfunction. See ya, man. All right. So from the 3D warehouse, let's go grab another vehicle. Again, if anybody has another vehicle that they would like to see, would love to. We're taking your requests on Trimble Forensics plus SketchUp live at 9. All right, horrible radio voice. There's a reason I'm not a DJ. All right, let's go in. Oh, I don't know. What do we want to get? You know what? I haven't done one of these yet. Maybe a sprinter. Because these things never roll over when they go sideways through a median. Never do. They never ever do they roll over. Okay, here's a sprinter. This one's pretty low poly count. 10,000 polygons. Let's just view it. It doesn't look like... there we go. So there's my 3D view. Let's see what this looks like. And what I really want is something on the inside. All right, looks like that one is a right-hand drive as well. I think I'll pass on the right-hand drive. Let's come back here. This one's 10,000 polygons. Looks like the same. Nope. Might be just a little bit different. So you may see the same model thumbnail, but by different people. And this means that they remixed it somehow. They did something different and then they re-uploaded it. So let's come down here. This one's 4,000 polygons. I'm interested in this one. All right, so I'm going to view this in 3D. Yeah, so this one's left-hand drive. This one doesn't have the divider in back, which I like. Just a basic dashboard, just a good lightweight model. I like this. All right, you notice somebody put a license plate image in here. So here in a little bit, we're going to blank that out. But yeah, this looks good. I really like this model. This one looks like it's pretty well done here. So I'm going to hit download. And yes, the 3D Model Warehouse does have a View in AR button. If your device is AR capable, you can take these 3D Warehouse models and view them in AR. Really cool. Okay. We now have our model in here. Now I placed it down at the scene origin. If you have a vehicle that comes in, I don't know, we'll just say clear out here or something like that. There is a move tool. So it looks like 4 arrows, up, down, left, right, but I like using the M key for move. And the way that it works is if you don't pick an area, it allows you to move it around. But if you want to snap it, so I want to snap this area right here. I'm going to zoom out, zoom in, and I want to snap that to my origin down here. There we go. We're now snap that to the origin. So I think that's really cool. All right. This model right here, good bounding box. I don't see anything extra in here. This is a really good model. Okay, let's recolor this thing. So I'm going to open up my materials once again, and I'm going to grab my paint bucket. I'm going to hit Alt. That'll give me my eyedropper tool. I'm going to click, and they colored it PVAN. PVAN. I don't know what that color is, but we're gonna change that. So I'm going to go to my home. I'm going to take PVAN, and I'm going to edit the material for the color. We're just going to make this a dark blue. Just a good medium blue. I like that. And pull that out. Okay. And from there, my van has now changed colors. Now, if I wanted to change the trim color, if this was all painted and had no black trim, we could definitely change that. Now, you don't necessarily have to use the eyedropper if something is painfully obvious. And in this one, what's painfully obvious to me is as I scroll down here, I see a material that is the license plate. That's a photograph or picture. I'm going to click on that. That's going to load that back up. If I want to blank that out, I can hit Edit Material. I'm going to, down in the color, this gives me the texture, the photo texture that was used. I'm just going to hit Delete. And I've now blanked out that license plate. And it appears that we had a license plate on front and back. So keep aware when be aware that when we do this, we're changing any instance, anything in here that has that texture. We're changing that texture for everything. We saw it previously with the Camaro, right? Where it changed the Chevy emblem. So right there, what I did is I just deleted or at least changed it so we weren't using a picture texture. Okay, as we're going along here, if there's something on the interior, something we could do is we could fly in here and just navigate inside. However, I don't really like doing that. It seems to be a little labor intensive to me. What I'm going to do is a section plane. I'm going to use my arrow keys and do this on the red axis. I'm going to click here. Say M for move, and I'm going to drag this over so that now I have a cross section of that van. Again, this is for visualization purposes only. We aren't actually slicing it. We are just looking inside. So if there's, if you had to put things inside, one of our episodes later is going to be putting things inside of vehicles. Say we had 9 people in this van going to a work site. We had the driver and passenger that were buckled up, and then we had 9 other people on the inside of here. We could do a section plane, put I guess it would be 7. My math is bad. Put 7 bodies in here, and then make the section plane go away. Or we could just leave the section plane, come side on, and from here, we could explain where people were sitting inside of the van as we had them placed. And then, of course, download the SKP, take it into Reveal. Really, the possibilities here are limitless as far as what we can do. And keep in mind, this is all with a free web version. We aren't installing anything. Heck, you guys don't even have to buy anything to get this. You have all of this capability using SketchUp free. So, really neat stuff. Okay, I've selected my section plane. I'm going to hit delete to bring me back out. All right, from here, I'm going to download this. And you know what? I should probably give this a name. When I save this, it says, hey, there's unused components, materials, tags, or styles. If you remember that Camaro that was there, I deleted the body, but I didn't necessarily delete all of the materials. Those of you with a keen eye may have seen that the gauges from the Camaro were still available as materials. What this is going to do is if that material isn't actually being used, it's going to purge it out. And I like to purge it, keep things clean, don't save this thing. Now, because I've got Trimble Connect, I can save it here. I hit save. Yeah, I can save it to a project in Trimble Connect. Or if I'd simply close out of the SketchUp web experience, this model will be available to me. All right, let's get rid of this thing. So I'm going to download an SKP. We've now saved this as Untitled 8. Let's go back over to Reveal. We're back over to Reveal. We're going to go Draw, Models. I'm going to scroll up here to SketchUp. File on disk. Load my SketchUp file. So this is Untitled 8. Horrible naming. Next. Sprinter dash blue. I like putting the color after, not blue Sprinter. All right, and then from here, once we can get that parsed out, now you can see here it parsed out just like that. So that's the difference between, what was this, 10,000 polygons and 60,000. Man, it gets done awfully quick. Okay, what is the front of our model? Well, that's going to be side 5. What is the top of our model? That's going to be side 3. I hit next. It's probably not too far off. It's been imported to custom. I hit next, and that will finish up. Okay, so now I'm in my custom library. If I scroll down here, there's my blue Sprinter. Slide this over to the side here and place that blue Sprinter there. Outstanding. So now I've got my blue Sprinter that I could also resize to manufacturer specifications. I can damage it. I can add a center of mass on it. I can do whatever I want to with it. So, okay, that takes us up to, we're 8 minutes till top of the hour. So, what I wanted to do here is get in and just do a real quick review here. I apologize, I need to get this open. All right, so I'm going to throw this one back up again. This is the QR code to our blog, and our blog has every episode that's in the series. So it's going to it'll explain all the episodes, give you a Cliff Notes version of that. So again, you can scan the QR code, or I'm going to run down through it with you here. I'll go SketchUp top left. There we go. Okay, this is going to be our schedule. So for our blog post, we've got our webinar series where we go through August 21st, episode 1, the one that started off a little, we kind of stumbled a little bit getting it started off due to technical difficulties. But next week, we are going to use SketchUp Web again. So you don't have to buy anything to do this, or install anything. Those of you dealing with department IT and admin rights, you don't need to install anything here. We're going to cover how to remove parts from models. So the vehicles that I brought in today, all we did was just change color. That's it. Just change color. Next week, we're going to tear stuff apart. We're going to take off wheels. We're going to remove windshield wipers. We're going to take off door handles. We're going to take the passenger seat out if our models have a passenger seat. We'll remove wheels. We'll remove license plates. We're just going to take all kinds of stuff apart. And we're going to, you saw a little bit of it with the Camaro, dig down deeper into groups and components. So that'll be a fun one next week. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring them into Reveal and use them as models in Reveal. The real fun thing is in Reveal, what you could do is take a model, say the model of a car, and import that as an entire car. You can then make another SketchUp model with say a wheel removed, download that, and then save a SketchUp, and then take that same wheel and save that as a SketchUp model and bring that into Reveal. So you'd have 3 models in Reveal: an entire car, a car without a wheel, and just the wheel. And then if you wanted to do an animation in Reveal of a car going down the roadway, and say the wheel falls off, you could animate it in such a way that you have the entire car moving down the road, and then it disappears, and then the model that has the wheel missing appears and continues on, and also the wheel appears and goes off in a different direction. So next week we're gonna tear all kinds of stuff apart next week. After that, we're gonna have Joshua Cohen from Fat Pencil Studio in with us, and Joshua is a let's see here, Fat Pencil. Here we go. We're going to have Joshua Cohen from Fat Pencil Studio in, and Joshua is a graphic artist for Fat Pencil Studio, where they do some really, really cool stuff with SketchUp in the forensic space. If you have a chance to look at their portfolio, they do some incredible work with SketchUp, talking about where they found bullet casings, where people were placed, sight lines, that kind of thing, to really create some really cool diagrams inside of SketchUp. And then because that's in SketchUp, we can then import these scenes into Reveal that may be just a little bit more, it may have just a little bit more pizzazz than what you may be able to do with Reveal alone. So really, really cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to having Joshua on here. And just a great guy, just a really great guy to talk to, wealth of knowledge. I really like him. I'm really looking forward to this episode 3. Joshua is going to talk to us and demonstrate how to build 3D models using hand measurements or no measurements at all. And I mean, sometimes not every scene needs to be scanned. Sometimes not every scene needs to be mapped with an instrument. Sometimes hand measurements are all you've got. And also old cold cases as well. Cases that, you just scribbled out some hand measurements and they moved on. That's all you have to work with. So he's going to work with us on how to build 3D models using hand measurements or no measurements at all. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's got there. Also, episode 4, we're going to customize vehicle models with stripes and unique paint schemes. You saw a little bit of that today on Recoloring, but we're going to go deeper into adding stripes, maybe some pin stripes onto these models, things like that. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Episode 5, importing and customizing unique furniture. If you've got furniture that's really unique, that you just can't find it except, well, we can find something close on the model warehouse. I'm going to show you how to customize furniture, how to make furniture be all but exact for what you encountered on scene. And then we're going into assembly and disassembly of vehicles, such as campers and toppers, and again, putting people inside of vehicles, and really just making assemblies and disassemblies of things to more accurately match what we have in real life. Episode 8, we're going to use an iPad Pro with LiDAR. So we're going to take SketchUp's scan to design feature on the iPad Pro with LiDAR, and we're going to scan and model a crime scene with it. It's really freaking cool the way that it works. Episode 9, we're going to be building rooms from photos. So we're going to take a room, we're just going to take photos of it, and we're going to model it. After we model it, we're going to bring in a LiDAR scan from a stationary or tripod-based laser scanner. We're going to check the accuracy of how close we got. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Next one, we're going to build neighborhoods and buildings from exterior photos. A little bit of what Joshua's doing of building structures using hand measurements or not any measurements or no measurements at all. These we're going to use photographs. We're going to build a neighborhood from a photograph. Or from multiple photographs, I should say. So as you're taking your scene photos, canvassing the neighborhood, can we build models of structures? Can we build a model of the neighborhood using just photos taken from a good mirrorless or DSLR? Then we're going to do high-res photos. So that one's going to be fun. Or taking high-res photos and making them materials and textures. You saw that a little bit today with the license plate on the Sprinter. We're going to take this one step deeper, and we're going to do a projection onto flat surfaces such as walls. So if you've got a defect in a wall, you know where it is. We're going to show you how to project and place those photos on. And then the last one's Open Line Wednesday. So would love to get all of you to bring your ideas, suggestions, that kind of thing to Open Line Wednesday. Okay, with that wraps up the series. That wraps up today's episode. Thank you all very much for joining us. I apologize for the rocky start and the multiple events. We have got that ironed out for next week. So this Friday, here in a couple days, I'm going to be posting the link to the next one, which will be episode 2, removing parts from models. Look forward to seeing you all there next week. See ya.